everybody, it's Allie again. Welcome to my YouTube and my blog. Thanks for coming. Today is day number 5 of my Christmas card series for 2018. Today we're going to do a relatively easy card. We're going to use a few different mediums than we have been for the first 4 days. We are going to actually do some watercoloring using some Zig Real Color brush pens. So I'm going to use a VersaFine Black Onyx ink. We're going to use some pattern paper from the Merry and Bright Echo Park Paper Company. And we're going to use some adorable purple onion stamps from Stacy Yakula. And away we go. I have made my 110-pound white cardstock card bases. These are going to be top folding A2 size. And we'll set those aside. I've also cut some tag shapes. This is a W+9 tag die. I'll have all the information down below and in my blog. I cut 2 of these out of a simple Strathmore Bristol smooth surfaced watercolor cardstock. And that's what we're going to use as the main focus. And we'll get our stamp set up and get our tag set up. Alright, so I've stamped my images using some VersaFine Black Onyx ink. This is safe to use with water-based products, including the Zig Clean Color Real Brush pens. And I've got my Bible of all the colors that I have. I just printed this out on some smooth white cardstock from Bristol, and can pick from any of the colors that I have in my stash. Alright, let's get started with coloring. I've also got a spare piece of watercolor cardstock here so I can doodle on that. Let's bring in a little closer because our images are rather small today. And I think we'll start with this one. We'll set our other one aside and away we go. here are my 2 tags. At first I wasn't really happy with this one, but I made it work. Aren't they cute, 2 little cardinals? Now, I'm going to add some liquid applique, and this stuff is cool. So it comes out as kind of like a thick glue-like substance. So I have to get mine running here. So it comes out fairly thick, and it comes out in a kind of partially off-white type liquid. And you don't actually need a lot of this, and you can go wherever you want to basically put snow. So I'm going to go down this white strip on my branch here. And it doesn't have to be super thick. And what you do is you're supposed to let it dry, but I'm too impatient for that. And then you apply your heat gun or your heat tool to it, and it just blooms up like big puffy snow drifts. So I've seen a lot of people use it for, you know, fluffy edges of hats, like on Santa's hats. I've seen people use it with pom-poms, you know, something that needs a little bit of texture. Now, I've never tried to color this stuff, but I assume you can probably add ink to it off to the side and then use like a little brush and apply it. And you could probably get it colored, which might be cool for hats and things like that. So if you've ever seen that done, I'd love a link to that. So I'm just going to add that there, and then I'll add some to my branch under my little cardinals, and then we'll apply some heat to it. All you have to do is take your heat tool to it. Make sure it's nice and warm first. And there we go. Hopefully you can see that on camera. And be careful because you can scorch it. So just keep an eye on it as you're doing this. Go, a little snow. There we go, a little more snow. Okay, let's go on with the rest of our card. Alright, we're going to add some of my kind of Christmassy twine here. I'm going to wrap it around the tag once first, just so I have some twine around it there. Okay, see it's looped through once. And then I'm going to tie a knot to stabilize all of that string. Oh. My snow is still wet. Look. I can always come back and reheat that to puff it up. Then I'm going to just tie basic bow. It just adds a little bit of holiday whimsy to our tag. And I'm going to leave these strings long because I'm not sure what I want my bow to look like on the card. So I'm just going to leave them and I can trim them when I need to. Alright, let's go on to the next step. Alrighty. I had originally picked out these 2 papers because I was going to use them on my card, but I put them down and I'm not liking them. They just don't jive with my color scheme. This is very bright and cheery. This is a little bit more subdued. So we're going to set these aside and use them for something else along the way here. So we're gonna add some texture to our card, and we're gonna do it the easy peasy way. So I'm gonna pull out my Scor-Pal here, which is my little mini scoring board, and we're going to add some texture. So I'm going to do it from the inside because I want it to be pushed towards the outside. So my tag is going to go somewhere up here, and I want my scored lines to pop out at the end, and I want them to be totally and completely tucked underneath my tag. So I know that, actually here, I'm going to turn this around here. I'm going to do this kind of upside down for you guys. I know that my tag, sorry, I gotta reorient myself here. I want my card to look like this, and I'm going to open from the bottom like such. And I want my scored lines to come out from underneath the tag, and I don't want them to be outside that tag. So I know that I'm just going to take my tag and put it where it would be on the front. And I'll shove that into the corner. So I know, and it can be just random. You can choose whatever you want for lines. Just going to pull it out just a bit. Okay, so I'm going to start with 1. Okay, I'm going to bring my tag back in just to double check that I am in the right area here so that my tag covers both. Perfect. And I'm going to put one more little teeny line on the bottom. I'm going to put a double. I'm going to kind of call that done. So I'll bring back my tag and I'll show you here. And then we're going to put our sentiment somewhere here. Alright, so hopefully you can see those scored lines. I mean, this is a very cool tool, not just for making your card bases. Okay, add some cool texture. Alright, let's go on and find a sentiment. So I chose a simple sentiment, Holiday Wishes. This is also from Purple Onion Designs. I have kind of permanently, semi-permanently, stuck it to my Misty with just some regular old ATG adhesive. I put my tag in to make sure I knew where it was going to fit. I've also added my powder tool to the surface, and we're going to use some Versamark sticky ink. This is my preferred ink for doing embossing, and we're going to ink this up generously, and I'm going to ink it up and press twice. I want to make sure I get a really nice crisp sentiment. Alright, I'll take it out of my Misty here. I've got my scrap piece of copy paper, and I'm going to use this new to me, and I believe they just released this, and this is called Spiced Candy embossing powder, and it smells like those cinnamon hearts candy. It's awesome, and it's this pretty bright red. So I'm just going to add it and see how it sticks. I'm going to just sprinkle just a touch more just in case I missed any areas. Give my cardstock a flick. Always remember to put this back in your jar before you do anything else, and don't forget to put the cap on. I don't know how many times I have knocked over something like that. Alright, bring this in and we're going to apply some heat. This is going to make your card smell delicious in the mail. Oh my god, it smells so good. There we go. Holiday Wishes. And all I have to do to finish up my card is add my tag, because these are like super simple. It's basically, it's the tag I want to show, It's the highlight. So I'm going to actually pop it up a little bit here using some foam tape. All this stuff, you can cut it to size, any shape, anything like that. I'll put that down. I'm not going to bother putting another piece in the center. Peel the backer. And just going to overlay that on our scored lines. And this one is a super duper simple card. And there we go. I'll finish up my other one and share it in a couple of seconds here. And I have to say, this card didn't take too long at all. So I wanted to show you. I heat embossed this and I had 2 tiny flecks of red come off. No worries. I'm going to pull in my Catherine Pooler Rockin' Red ink, and I just happen to have this Honeybee stamp set Flaky Friends sitting here, and they have the cutest little tiny little snowflake images, and we're literally just going to cover up those red spots. So tricky. And because 3 is more visually appealing, there's number 3. And I'm going to trim these up, and there's card number 2. So, thanks for joining me today for day number 5 again. I hope you join me again. Thanks for all the comments and the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And stay tuned for the next one. Bye, guys.